What's going on, everybody? Doing a different type of tutorial today. As you can see, working off of the iMac. If you look down here in the bottom, you can see a little dock. Hooray for me. Um, just recently made a couple of little upgrades to the studio and decided to, share with the rest of the world. Purchased some new monitors, some Yamaha HS50s, loving them so far. Also picked up Reason 4.0. And y'all can hear my dog Domino over here shaking out. Can't see him, but he says hello. Um, so what I'm gonna be doing today, when I bought Reason, I knew I could integrate it with Pro Tools using Rewire. And so today I'm just gonna kind of do a quick and dirty show and tell of what I've done to actually be able to multi-track export directly out of Reason into Pro Tools for those of you who don't want to do a track by track recording to Pro Tools. So I've already got everything pretty much up. I'm just gonna bring my windows back, and as you can see here, I'm just gonna flip my rack around so you can kind of see what I've got up here. I've got running ReDrum, running NNXT, Maelstrom, and that's pretty much it. Just keeping it real simple. But what I've done on the back of the mixer, if you look up here, you notice that there are no ends coming from any of the sound modules in the rack, as you can see. Um, Anybody with a quick eye, you might notice that I just ran the main outs into the hardware device. So basically I removed 1 and 2 so that just to kind of trick Pro Tools into looking for these other lines coming out. And basically I treated each top and bottom line as a left-right stereo is what I've done. So here you see I got ReDrum, I've got the main outs running directly into I believe that's 3 and I believe 4, and then I've got 5 and 6 that go down a little bit further and then close out with 7 and 8. Pro Tools was a little bit tricky, but in a nutshell, had to create an auxiliary channel for each of the paired channels that are coming from Reason. So over here, I just basically went to the insert and I selected Reason from the drop down. So I went to multi-channel plug-in, went to instrument, and picked Reason as the instrument. From there, the rewire option came up, and when I went into the rewire, I actually had to now correlate the channels that are going to be bussed into this particular auxiliary strip. So here you see I've got 3 and 4. Over here I've got 3 and 4. So this should be ReDrum playing out, and I'm not going to trigger it, but pretty much it does work. And then I did the same for each corresponding channel. So you'll see 5 and 6. Again, 5 and 6 represented over here. After that, I tinkered around for about maybe 2 minutes before I realized that I also needed to now create a separate bus for each one of these auxiliary strips so that they could go into an audio track and be recorded by Pro Tools. So basically, in a nutshell, Pro Tools will not record the anything into an auxiliary strip. It will only pass that sound through to another strip, basically. So over here, did the same thing. I went and selected the a bus, picked the first one, which was bus 1 and 2 stereo, and that is going to be for ReDrum. Did the same thing over here, so picked bus 3, 4 so that I could run the second module and so on. So I've got bus 5, 6 over here for my third module that I picked in the Reason rack. And then I did the same thing, just had to match everything up. So I went to insert A, or the first insert, I'm sorry. No, the first audio track, I'll stand corrected. And on my input, I just had to select each one of the buses that for each individual strip that I want a isolated sound getting sent to. So over here you see I've got bus 3, 4 already selected, and over here I've got bus 5, 6 already selected. Interesting things I'm learning about Rewire. This is my first time really using it. I noticed that when you move the cursor, Pro Tools will actually follow your movement. Let me just kind of show everybody what that's looking like. So if you notice right here, I've got the Pro Tools cursor. Over here, I've got the Reason cursor. So when I click drag, it takes a second or so, but Pro Tools will react accordingly. So I move it to the end, it does the same thing. The same goes over here. If I reposition it here, it's going to follow my flow in Reason. One of the things that I wanted to point out is when I was triggering to record and multi-track into Pro Tools, I noticed that at the beginning of the track on the downbeat, there was a little bit of a delay possibly. So I don't know if it's just the time it takes Pro Tools to send the message to Reason. So to kind of circumvent that, I just shifted everything over by, just 4 bars basically. So that way, when I go back into the very beginning, there's 4 bars of silence before I go into the song, and Pro Tools will, pretty much have a seamless transition into recording. So that being said, I've already got everything set up. You can kind of see my arranger window here, and I'm just going to arm everything for record, and I'm going to press play, and you'll see exactly what I'm talking about. And my dog is still having a blast over here. So hope everybody kind of enjoyed what I just did here. Hope you learned something. As you can see, I've got 3 separate tracks of audio that were pulled from Reason. Not really sure how I'm going to disconnect the rewire connection, so I'm kind of hesitant to trigger it because I got a feeling that in doing so, you will probably be hearing where Reason will probably trigger over here. So for the most part, it's oh, I got an idea. You know what? We'll test this out, guys. We'll explore this together. I will just simply change the buses, and I'll just mute them. How about that? So actually, got a better idea. I'll just remove the insert. How's that? We'll test it out. We'll see what happens. I got a feeling it's going to still trigger, but we'll see. And if you notice, so when I remove the inserts, Reason did not react with the rewire. So what we should hear now is Pro Tools. All right, so actually we just learned something together, everybody. Hope you enjoyed. This is your boy Jay Rant signing off.